Hey, good evening, everybody. All right, so it's been a while since I've done a live feed here. So I thought, well, let's go ahead and get one started here. So let me see if I can bring that camera back a little bit. We can get a little bit more of the workbench in. So here we go. That should work pretty good. Anyways, so we're building a 2-pill base. Well, hello, Jeremy. Good evening, sir. So, yeah, I've got a good portion of it already done as far as on the board itself, and I've got the fans and everything mounted, but we still got to mount the uh, digital voltmeter that's going to be in the front of it. Um, I'll go ahead and take care of this off camera because I got to go to the other section of the building and get this fitted as far as for the circuit breaker in the front. But anyhow, we've been just trying to get what we can done here. I've been uploading some videos and uh, just a lot of ins and outs here. So, still just trying to get all that taken care of. But anyhow, I think I have the hole because I had to file it just a little bit to fit the meter, but I wanted to check and make sure. We're going to go with a red voltmeter on the inside of this. It'll be easy on the eyes that way. I'm going to hook this up here to the power supply and turn it on and see. That way I know for sure that I get it actually turned the right direction. Hello, come in. Well, good evening, Mr. Donkey Stomper. David, Greg. Let's see, I need to call. Got a question or request. Okay. Well, if you want, Jeremy, as soon as I get off the live feed, if you'd like to give me a call, you're welcome to do so. I'll be happy to talk to you there and see what we can do. But anyhow, so I know that this is working right, and I know that it's actually turned in the right direction as far as which way's up. Because I have installed these, and I know that this is going to be a very, very tight fit going into the face of this. So I wanted to make sure that when I put it in there, I only got to put it in there one time because once I get it snapped in place, um, I had them make the hole just slightly smaller because a lot of times these don't fit quite as tight as I'd like them to. So there we go. So I had to file it just a little bit to get it to snap in there. So no wiggle or anything like that, or very little anyways. So yeah, let's hook that back up just for and grins. That way we can kind of get an idea what the face is going to look like here. I can get a hold of it with the alligator clips. So this is going to be a very small cabinet, not very tall. It's well worth, well worth what it is, but it's a little extra work. I'm actually going to do something different on this one because of the fact that we're using the 2879Cs. When I had these cabinets developed and made for me, um, I didn't really plan on anything other than the regular 2879s or something smaller, just for a small little driver base. But anyhow, the way I had it figured up whenever I had the case made as far as on the size, I knew I could fit two of those small Meanwell power supplies in there and have about 50 amps of current that's available. But where the customer is actually wanting to run the radio, and I know the C's will draw up to about 46 amps, that really doesn't leave me any headroom for the radio. So we're actually going to install a bigger module. So it's going to have to be set kind of sideways in there in order to fit it in there. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, these are some very, very nice cabinets. I just wished I would have made them about 2 or 3 inches deeper, as far as on the depth. It would have helped. It would have helped under the new circumstances as far as with some of the things that are available. But once I get through with these cabinets, I'll look into ordering some more. But that's one of those where I got to kind of save up the money because it's a pretty pretty hefty amount that I've got to buy at one time. So, but anyhow, let's go ahead and get this set off to the side. I'm gonna keep working on the pallet here. So I'm gonna get this wired up. It sounds like my neighbors are doing some sawing and Lord knows what else. So I've got a few more things that I've got to get done, and then I'll be caught back up again. So I'm hoping to be caught up here very, very quickly because I gotta get on some other stuff that's sitting over here as well. Uh, but all right, so massage that down here a little bit so it'll lay a little flatter. All right, so the biasing's all hooked up here. I'm still got to put me a small little jumper in place there. That way the delay will work correctly. Yeah, I actually knew what you meant there, Greg. So I bought me a new pair of wire strippers that are like these because I thought, well, I could get something that's maybe a little sharper and a little bit better quality. And when I was down at Donkey Stompers, I seen that he actually was using a set of Kleins. Now these things are super sharp. They work great, but they got one flaw. Um, they don't have a return spring to where they'll stay open, and I really wished they had one. So I think what I'm going to do is order one more pair. Uh, one more pair that actually has a pair on it, or has the return spring on it, because I didn't notice that when I ordered these. Um, but otherwise, I really like these. But like I said, I liked having that return spring like I do on these cheapos. So I'm gonna order another one, and then at that point, I'll probably drill out the rivets out of this one because I've had these for like 15 years. I'll drill the rivets out, and I'll take the spring off, and I'll mount it onto that one. But I want to get another pair before I do that. Hello, Bruce. It has issues. You been talking much skip here lately, Bruce? I know you don't get much time at home. You spend most of your time at your second home at work. It's kind of hard to do this stuff right-handed when you're left-handed. There we go. That way we can induce the delay when the biasing is on at the same time. And then it'll go back into a class C when the bias is off. Okay. So that's wired in. Okay. So now we got to kind of halfway put this together and figure out how everything's got to be finagled. I've got some screws ordered because I don't know what happened to the screws that are designed for this cabinet. So I had to special order some more screws in order to go ahead and take care of that. Hello, bud man. So we got two fans. We got two fans in this cabinet, and a lot of it has to do with the way things have to all fit together in here. So I'm going to run two fans just to make sure I've got an adequate amount of cooling. The other side of that too is this amplifier here. Since I used some of the heat sink that I had on hand, I was able to make the heat sink itself actually just a little bit bigger than the normal one that comes with the 2-pill. So that just gives me a little bit more to work with. I don't think there is such a thing as too much heat sink. There we go. So that's how that's going to sit in there. Partay gets from my cataracts. Oh man. But got 3 mate all taken care of, other than boxing him up. So still got to do that yet. And let's actually cut some wire here for this real quick. And because I can't use a regular plug for this, so I'm actually going to have to solder my wires directly here and then run them over to the external jack for this. So let me go cut a couple slices of wire here real quick. Not like I got to go real far, but I just got to stand up to be able to reach the wire. But yeah, like I said, it's been a while since I've done a live feed. I've been posting all kinds of videos and just not doing any live feeds here lately. So it's like, well, let's go ahead and just do a live feed. Okay. I'm looking at the orientation. That way I know which one's the load and which one's the neutral wire. Because this is going to be set up on 110. Yeah, yeah, I'm close to it. I'm close. I would have actually got this done earlier today if it wasn't for the fact that I had an order that came in from ICA, so I took care of my order from them, made sure that everything was in order there. Took care of that, and then I went ahead and I did another video that's up on well, it's loading to Patreon right now as we speak. On the B&K, what is that? That B&K 2 CB 240 or something like that for the RF signal generator. So I've been loading some of the videos. I've been loading some of the videos on specialty items like that to my Patreon first. That way, those guys that pay for that service, they kind of get a sneak peek at some of the things that I'm doing here in the shop first before I actually load them on to YouTube. One of them's already loaded on YouTube. It's just it's set to it's not set to go off until sometime tomorrow. So kind of one of those early access things. Yeah, sounds like the neighbors have really got the honky tonk going on. uh, there we go. And for a little safety measure, we'll put some heat shrink and slide that right down over top of that. See if I got to go up one more size or if that'll work. Yep, got to go up one more size. Hello, popcorn. Yeah, well, on that, I've been trying to remember as far as where I know a lot of people go ahead and add the Patreon names to that, and oftentimes I'll either use a screen name or or if they've got a CB handle, be happy to use those. So I've been slowly trying to add to that. So like I said, we've got a few members there going on. Of course, there's also special perks too, depending on whether you go into the $2 or $5 or $15 tier. There's different perks that go along with some of that too. And I haven't got a lot of perks set up for the $15 thing yet. I've been waiting to get more viewers, and at that point, that and the more content I get put on there, I'll start breaking things down into specialized fields. As far as certain videos will just be available to them only. So, just like anything else, it's a work in progress. There we go. Well, I know that those are going to stay. I think you can view the Patreon for free for like 14 days. I think that is set up. Barbecue. Of course, I fixed a couple of hamburgers yesterday out on the grill, but I can smell the neighbors are doing a barbecue for sure. Okay. Make sure I'm locked in. That way I know I'm all the way in that corner. Like I said, it's a very, very tight fit as far as how everything's got to be set in there. But right now I'm trying to get more than anything. I'm just trying to get things figured out as far as for my spacing for my wiring and all that good stuff too. So let's cut some wire here. That way we can hook the 2-pill up, and then we'll cut some wires for going back here as well. Let's see here. Grab some scraps here just to kind of get an idea as far as on length before I go cutting wires. Okay, so I need positive that's a little longer than that. So bear with me here, guys. I know I'm away from the computer here, but another thing, I need to order some more 10 gauge wire. Okay, that should be long enough for that. That should be way long enough to get where I want to go there. Two. Let's see, I'm about to barbecue. Yeah, it must be nice. Yeah, he was. I know he was yesterday. If you want, send him a message. See if we can get him in here. He's always good to clown around with. I know there's times that I've sent him messages because I know that he doesn't always hear his phone. So I know I just ate about an hour ago, but I'll tell you what, I may have to let my nose uh, go around and figure out where in the world they're barbecuing at. See which neighbor maybe uh, that I can invite myself to their cookout. Isn't that horrible? Oh, hey, oh, you're doing a barbecue? Oh, yeah. No, no, unless I'm invited, I usually don't bother anybody. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and trim these back. I'll go ahead and hook up both grounds, and then we'll go to the next. Well, I got a update from Donkey Stomper. I guess he posted something here just recently. But yeah, the customer wants to be able to run his radio and amplifier at the same time off of the same piece of equipment. So that's kind of the reason why we're doing it this way. Um, it just so happens I had a small set of jacks. I normally don't stock them. I usually have to order something like that. But I had an old set that's been here for geez several years. As far as for the jacks for the back of a radio, I've got the ginormous ones, but I don't have anything that's what I call a standard size for using for radios. So it's not something that I normally keep here on hand. At 7, it's a Premier. Stay up. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to be out here for a long duration, that's for sure, buddy. I'm just wanting to get out here because it's been a while since I've done an actual live feed. Like I said, I've been posting a lot of actual videos, but no live feeds here for a while. So I know for the most part, you try to be courteous enough, and most of the time we both know ahead of time. Which there again, as far as for my work, usually I leave 9 p.m. here, and then you'll start your live feed just like shortly after that, or your premieres. Which works out just about perfect because I'm already off there, and they can leave here and go directly over to yours. So, all right. Now we'll bring this back in here. Yeah, I just want to try to get things cut down to whatever lengths and sizes and get things ran. I don't want to actually set the power supply completely in place just yet in case I need to move something. That's just like the fan wires and all that good stuff. That's got to be mounted. Um, I can go ahead and locate the board because I've actually got a clamp that's going to be soldered to the board. That way it'll lock it in place so that once everything's where I want it. But I've got a small mark here. That way I know how far this way I can tilt it. I got a feeling that I'm going to have to cut that tab because I still have to have room for where that face sits on there. Like I said, it's a very, very interesting ordeal to put one of these together. Like I said, I hadn't intended on this at the time whenever I had these cases made. Otherwise, like I said, I'd have made them a couple of inches longer. I was trying to actually, whenever I had this cabinet designed, I was trying to keep things as compact as I could for a small 2-pill base. That was the original goal. Okay. I'll have to tweak that little tab just a little, mounting tab just a little bit. Yeah, that doesn't give me much room to work with. So I'm gonna have to cut that little tab off the back of it just so I can move it 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch. I mean, it'll clear right where it's at, but I would rather have the extra room. So let's see if we can cut that off with this. If not, we'll have to get the. Yep, nope, that's more than what my fingers will let me. You know what that means? Yeah, 100 amps might run the 2-pill, but I know the radio that he's looking at is about a 60-watt radio, so you know this will provide him with well over the amount of power needed. Now I remember why I didn't take those off to start with, where they're spring steel. Oh Lord. There are some things that we do not need to know about, Greg. But there's a few others that I'm sure that are interesting or interested in learning all about that. Yeah, that'll work great. Okay. And then this fan here, I'm actually going to run that back there instead of off of this front end. Mainly that way because I've got the ferrite there, but that way we can hopefully make sure that there's no noise that's going to be going back into the power supply and then back to the radio itself. So that's another reason why I want to kind of separate that as much as I can, because I'm going to put ferrites and things like that to help compensate for all this. So yeah, that gives me the extra clearance that I need for that. That's going to be great. Then I'll be able to just trim those and roll them right on around like so. Wunderbar. Trim off a little excess, get rid of that. Let's go grab some ferrite. Yeah, Donkey Stomper's over there rolling on the ground right now, kind of laughing about that. I can already see the tears in his eyes. Actually, let's use a big single one. Yeah, I just got my order in, so I got a whole bunch of ferrite back in stock. I was getting kind of low on a couple different ones. Of course, I'm gonna have to refill that. That's all I've got in my little red zip tie tray. It's okay. I got a couple thousand more yet. I've only been working on that bag of 5,000 for a couple of years. Sounds like the neighbor's listening to Willie Nelson now. I wonder if he's missing his ex-wife or something. I seen where Chad, he just got through going to what was it, Dollywood, I think is what they call it. I've been to the edge of Dollywood, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to go whenever I was down there the last time. Okay. Yeah, this little wire here, it's actually going to be good for about 20 amps. So that should give him plenty at the radio. Okay. I'll cut a few inches off of it, but I'll I'll leave it intentionally long until I get actually to that point. But I'll tell you what, guys. I know we haven't been on here very long, but I'm gonna go ahead and close up the video for the moment, and that way I can shut the shop door and figure out the best way I'm gonna mount this. So, guys, I appreciate you popping in. Like I said, I just wanted to get in here for just a at least with her close on. Oh yeah, Dolly's still beautiful. I mean, for a woman that's in her 70s, she's a very beautiful lady. But all right, guys, like I said, I'm gonna get out of here, and then that way I can also watch part of his premiere, and I'm gonna be working on this for maybe another hour. Because, like I said, once I even get to a certain point, I'm still gonna have to stop until I can get the screws in to actually put the back of the cabinet together. I found two that were the right thread, but they're not the right type of screw for this, so that I can at least hold this corner in, so I can get the rest of my measurements and stuff. So I'll get this nailed down, get the wires pulled out, but I've still got to lay out the face. And I think what I'm going to do, because I know that he's going to be running this with a radio. Like I said, there's going to be a main switch here to turn it on and off. That's going to be a circuit breaker. And then I think what I'm going to do is come right over here and drill a small hole and put a 3-position switch. That way he's got AM, standby, and sideband. So I think that's the way we're gonna approach that. But guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for joining in. Like I said, we'll try to get some more videos out here before we go back to work here. Hopefully by the end of this month, anyways. So, all right, guys, take care. God bless, and we will catch you on the next live feed or on our next video. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon as well. We'd love to have you over there. Take care, guys.